Hi guys, how you all doing? Welcome back again to another reaction video. So guys, into this video I'm going to be taking you all to the Philippines. You guys know that I so much love the Philippines. I love their stormy boys, but in this particular video guys, I'm not going to be reacting on music, okay? So I'm going to be taking you guys to another dimension because I want to know more about the Philippines because I so much love them. So guys, I will be taking this video from behind Asia and I'll be reacting on this particular video titled Why Israel Love the Philippines. Oh my goodness, like I think for Israel to love the Philippines, I think there must be something special about the Philippines. Guys, if you're from Filipino right now and you are watching me right now, please tell me why Israel love you guys because I really want to know much about that. So guys, without wasting much of your time, let's dive into it and why the Israel love the Philippines. Okay, so let's get started.
Israel and the Philippines have a very special relationship, and people don't really talk about it much. You see, the Philippines, despite being a world apart, separated by geography and culture, has a historical and wonderful relationship. Their relationship is deep and meaningful, and comes out to be amongst the most unexpected there is. And the type of international friendship that we talk about isn't merely about trade, security, or investments. They are built on something far more different. It's rooted in a shared history of struggle and survival, moments when one reached out to the other in times of desperate need. To start off, this relationship went back to the 1930s. This was a dark time in world history, especially in Europe. Anti-Semitism was at its peak, and Jews were being persecuted. Countries around the world were shutting their doors on these desperate people. But it should also be known that Jews themselves were being expelled from all across the world. At the start of the 20th century, some Jews were deported by Ottoman authorities during the First World War. In 1933, the Nazi Germany persecution started with Nazi boycotts of Jewish businessmen, and then as history knows what happens next. By 1940, the so-called June deportation carried out by the Soviet Union in June and July 1940 as the fourth and fifth waves of mass deportations of Polish citizens from Soviet-occupied eastern Poland also targeted some 65,000 Polish Jews who fled from the German-occupied part of Poland. Left and right, they were being kicked out. But the cusp of today's story does not belong to these expulsions, but rather what happened halfway across the globe. In the Philippine Islands, something different was happening. President Manuel L. Quezon, who was in power at the time, made an extraordinary decision that was far ahead of its time. Despite facing opposition, he implemented a policy that would allow Jewish refugees to find sanctuary in the Philippines. He didn't just provide them refuge, he offered them a new lease on life.
Wow.
These were people escaping from the darkest times, and here was a country, itself under American colonial rule, reaching out a helping hand. And this was by no means an easy decision. The opposition he faced was harsh. His enemies criticized him for letting communist Jews in, and even his political allies scolded him for it. Yet for some reason, President Manuel Quezon had sympathized with the Jews. Being a Catholic, which was also the biggest religion in the Philippines, had pushed him a year later to fight for the entry of 10,000 Jews from Germany and Austria in the Philippines. His rivals used this idea to their advantage by calling Jews communists and claiming they wanted to control the world. They also said it would be difficult for the Philippines to manage the logistics. Further, some opponents had also distorted the issue, accusing President Quezon of not providing land to farmers while offering land to Jewish refugees in the Philippines. But surprisingly, against all odds, President Quezon went ahead and provided visas to 10,000 German and Austrian Jews. Out of that number, however, only 1,200 made it to the Philippines. Some analysts pointed out the fact that the Philippines was later invaded by the Japanese. And truth be told, there wasn't really any economic gains or political favors in the fray. He did it because he believed it was the right thing to do. Even though the Philippines was not yet a fully independent nation, Quezon used what power he had to make a moral stand. This decision didn't just save lives, it laid the first stone in the foundation of a friendship that has lasted to this day. This early act of humanitarian aid was a defining moment in the relationship between the Philippines and Israel, or more accurately, between Filipinos and Jews. It showed that even when faced with great risks, the Philippines was willing to do what was right. This set the tone for a friendship that would later extend into more significant actions that would further solidify the bond between the two nations. But you might get carried out by the fact that this was the only defining moment of the relationship. No, history carried on as the Philippines became a big friend of Israel. In 1947, after the Second World War, a big vote came out from the
Wow, guys, like, I think the Philippines, I think they are so amazing. Like, I'm just going through all the comments and I can see many sweet messages that people were being written concerning the Philippines. I haven't been there, but seeing them on TikTok and YouTube, I think they are beautiful outside and inside. There's this particular comment that this person made. He said, "Wow, beautiful, you are the sweetest, kindest, hardworking people I ever met in my entire life. A Filipino lady took care of my late grandmother like her own mother." Oh my goodness, like, that can only happen in the Philippines. Because for someone to have such a good heart to take care of another person's mother like his own mother, I think it didn't just happen by chance, and I think it was an inheritance from the mother's land. So there are so many sweet comments concerning the Philippines, how hardworking they are, how beautiful inside and outside they are, how they have helped one another in the past years. I think this is really beautiful, and like, I'm beginning to fall in love with the Philippines. I just wish I have one person has a Filipino friend, because I've been admiring them from a far distance. Yes, like, seriously, guys, please don't laugh at me, okay? I just want to make friends with the Philippines. Like, you guys are just so amazing. Like, all these incredible comments are just so beautiful. So guys, let's keep watching.
United Nations. The world at that time was looking at the question of Palestine, a territory that had been under British control. The proposed plan was to partition Palestine into separate Jewish and Arab states. This proposal, known as the United Nations Partition Plan for Palestine or Resolution 181, was a, let's say, contentious issue. The stage was set and the stakes were high. If the resolution passed, it would lead to the establishment of the State of Israel. However, getting enough countries to say yes was a monumental task. But that day would come. Out of the 58 UN members at that time, 33 voted in favor, 13 were against, and 10 abstained. But what came out to be the most surprising is that the Philippines voted in favor of establishing the State of Israel. The Philippines was also the only Asian country to ever vote in favor. Okay, so you might then ask, why is this such a big deal? Well, because that vote was a close call. If the Philippines had voted differently, the majority needed for the resolution to pass would not have been reached. Or to put it simply, the Philippines' vote was the tipping point. Israel might not have been established if not for that crucial yes from the Philippines. So, in a very real sense, the future of an entire nation rested on the shoulders of this single vote. President Quezon's earlier actions, and then later by the Philippines, proved yet again a monumental feat to their friendship. But like Quezon's actions, these were also not a political strategy. The decision was grounded in the country's own recent history of fighting for independence and self-determination. It was an alignment of values, a gesture of goodwill, a continuation of the humanitarian spirit. Carlos P. Romulo, who was the Philippines' representative in the United Nations, spoke eloquently about the moral duty to support the Jewish people's aspiration for a homeland, echoing the sentiments of President Quezon's earlier actions. The impact of this vote reached far beyond diplomatic halls. It established the Philippines as a supporter of Israel's right to exist and self-govern, further strengthening the friendship between the two nations. It was an act that showcased the Philippines' willingness to support what it viewed as just and right, even when it stood alone among its Asian neighbors. In later years, the Philippines received military training and equipment from Israel. Israel has a highly advanced military and intelligence apparatus, and sharing this expertise was another layer in their expanding friendship. This was more than a simple transaction. It was a sign of deep trust and mutual respect. Today, it is well known that the Philippines employs a wide variety of Israeli-made equipment, from the Acero-class patrol gunboats to the Sabra light tank, Elbit Hermes 450, an unmanned aerial vehicle, and even a wide array of communication equipment. And aside from military ties, Israel and the Philippines are today exchanging trade, investment, and tourism to this very day. Although it is quite small, as in 2019 it was just about $254 million worth of trade. Tourism, on the other hand, saw around 30,000 Filipino tourists visiting Israel each year prior to the pandemic. And finally, there is also a small Filipino diaspora in Israel. Approximately 30,000 Filipinos reside in Israel, mostly as caregivers. The treatment of these migrant workers is generally better in Israel compared to other countries, thanks to labor agreements and cultural understanding. But anyway, do let us know what you think. Thanks for watching.
So guys, we are done watching this video. I know that the Philippines must be very good for the people of the Israel to love them so much. And I saw a lot of beautiful comments that people wrote concerning the Philippines. Oh my goodness, like it amazed me so much to see when other countries speaking good about other countries. Like, I'm very sure that the Filipinos are so good, though I haven't come across them yet, but seeing them on YouTube, I know that you guys are very, very good and it's so beautiful. Like, I really want to know more about the Philippines, the culture, the food, the drinks, in fact, everything about the Philippines. I would really love to know. Okay, I just know that the Philippines, they have stony voice, they can sing so much, but I think I would like to go more deeper to know more about these amazing people. So guys, you tell me what you think about this video in the comment section, okay? And you feel free to suggest any video for me to react on you concerning the Philippines, okay? So guys, hope to see you all in my next video. Bye.